Good. What time is it? Morning. All of our friends, Southern County Daily News. It is time for the Betty Smith Court Report. And for that, let's bring in Betty. There she is. Hello. Hello.
Hey, Mark.
It's
Hello,
Bubbly Betty. It's Bubbly Betty. So you are, looks like you're about to go on a haunted tour of something.
If I walk up these steps any further, I would be.
So you are deep in the belly of the Scioto County Courthouse to be able to be safely broadcasting without a mask, so everybody can see your wonderful smile. And we're going to talk a little bit about some events that happened today in court, right?
Yes.
All right. So let's go ahead and let's have you give the introduction and tell us what happened today.
Yes. Well, I was in Judge Coon's courtroom today, and it was for Louderback and Kilgore for the murder of Holsinger. And Louderback got pushed out or continued, and Kilgore was in court today. So a lot of things. Again, it came back to live discovery. It came down to both the state and the defendant having more evidence to bring forward. Again, as we go on with this court report, Mark, there was, yeah, you're pulling a picture up now. There was talk about change of diet. There was talk about the case moving forward and not getting continued again. So there was a few things that got brought up in that today. And I don't know what notes you have in front of you, Mark, but I can try to cover, like I said, they asked about a change of diet for him, and the judge kind of stayed away from that. So that's something the lawyer needed to address with the the sheriff's department where he's staying at the county. So I lost your sound, Mark. I don't know what happened.
I forgot. I muted myself so there wasn't an echo. There's a couple shots here, photographs from court today, so you can take a look at this. And all right, so what are we looking at here?
That's Kilgore and his attorney.
And his attorney is?
I don't think I had that on my note docket.
I think it might have been Meadows. I'm not sure.
Because I was under the impression that he had a couple people representing him.
All right. And so this here.
That one here, it looked like it was, I'm sorry.
Is this when they first came in, or?
That was when they first came in, and he did have family there that were, kind of watching the court case play out as well, and to see.
Yeah, we that was in the picture and we cropped them out. So okay.
Oh, okay.
And then here we noticed that everybody's kind of focused over to the left of the screen. So did somebody take the stand, or what were they looking at there?
No, again, I think that was right in the beginning when I was getting my still shot.
All right, very good, very good. So we had, let's look at one thing here. All right, so
they also had, I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's all right. I was just looking at comments. Somebody commented, who is this about? So I'll remind everybody that maybe just because just coming in, this is in regards to the murder trial for Derek Holsinger, and Benny Kilgore was in court today, and Anthony Louderback was scheduled for court today, but it got continued. So there's one other thing we want to do before we come back to this, and it gives folks an opportunity. If you just click the little search bar on the website, and you can put in anything that you're interested in. I probably spelled her name wrong. There was another one supposed to happen today.
Are you asking me, Mark?
Oh, I'm trying to get the. Come on now. Did I spell her name wrong?
Rebecca Jones was the other one that was in for court today. Was supposed to be.
Hang on. I had it pulled up here.
Well, I'll cover a couple things, Mark, while you're pulling that up. So again, they talked about getting a private investigator. They acted as if they were having a line of communication between, with COVID going on. There was a lot of communication being done confidentially over the phone for the lawyer and Kilgore. So that was concerning court today, just making sure they was getting the proper communication.
Here it is. I'm on the website, so I don't know what we're broadcasting.
Okay. But this is just a follow-up for those if you're just tuning in. This is kind of where we were at with this, with the Benny Kilgore and the Louderback case. Louderback was continued. Kilgore was in court today. Again, I'm just repeating some of this, Mark. I don't know if you're back on there yet.
Yeah, okay, well, I'm back.
Okay.
So now, okay. So one of the big things we were expecting today was the sentencing for Rebecca Jones. And that did not happen because that got continued. And so a lot of people were looking forward to the sentencing. 38-year-old Soderville woman charged with 4 counts of unlawful sexual contact with 15-year-old boy. And this took place about 7 months ago. And she was supposed to be sentenced today. And that did not happen because of some issues, and so they're moving it back. We'll bring that when we're able to. So let's go back to what we were able to cover today, and that is, I guess, Mr. Kilgore, right? He was the only one that was able to show up.
Yes. Yeah, and that's
All
what I was
right.
kind of going over when you were pulling that Rebecca Jones story up. That again, they talked about a private investigator. They talked about life discovery on both counts, not just them, but for the state too. So another concern was making sure that Kilgore was getting proper time with his attorney due to this whole pandemic. And they said yes, that they were getting confidential conversations by phone. They did ask for internet service as well, or if they could get access to internet service. And so I think they were going to look into that.
And what would the internet service be for?
I think like a Zoom call.
Okay, so there was a couple other points, and you may have covered them, but the defense brought up the possibility of another person of interest in this case. Did you hear that? And what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. But again, I think that's where this line of discovery is coming in. And they also were saying, I think that's where they went back to the private investigator, because they were saying that most of the witnesses were forthcoming and they didn't feel that they may need a private investigator. I think they felt like they were covering enough ground on that. But now, as far as testing evidence and some other things, which they talked about this back, I believe it was in November when we covered this case before. And so I think they're still working with some stuff on that, on testing evidence. But they don't want to continue this case. A shout out, I guess, to the judge. He wants to move forward with this.
Sorry, try to keep the echo down. My bad.
Oh,
So they also mentioned that maybe the cause of death was in question.
yes.
So talk about that. That's we have a case now, and I go back because we keep beating the drum for Kevin Bailey. Kevin Bailey, his cause of death is not in question. It's murder, and that killer is still doing whatever the hell they want. Oh, sorry,
Oh,
he double hockey sticks. But in this case, apparently the cause of death is in question. That's the first I've heard of this. What are your thoughts on that?
yeah, I was kind of surprised because, I mean, well, if you go back to the beginning when this story began and the events that led up to that, it almost, and I don't want to predetermine anything. If you're asking my opinion, I guess I'm going to say it almost felt like it was kind of open and shut case, that there was going to be evidence and, they would move forward and, maybe either a higher sentence or a lower sentence. But now with this other evidence being brought into play, it kind of changes things.
Yes. All right. So then you mentioned the change of diet. And that's that's interesting and okay. And so the judge, like you said you're going to have to refer to the jail for that. He has no control over the diet, whatever your issue is with your diet, jail food, but
I didn't know they got a choice, but that was I'll be enlightened, I guess.
yeah, I don't know if you want to change your diet. Don't go to jail. Don't commit a crime and go to jail, and then you don't have to worry about your diet. The judge promised a fair and timely trial, and he said we're not going to do endless continuances. And I thought that was you mentioned earlier, a shout out to the judge. He's in no mood. This is going on for many, many months, and he's in no mood to just entertain, continuance after continuance. Right now, the final pretrial is set for April 12th, and the actual trial April the 19th. And even after some maneuverings from the attorneys and bringing up other things, they said that he kept the date, right? He says, "Look, we are not we're not moving this date unless something really, really is
life changing, I guess." Yeah.
Right. So fantastic. So we have kind of easy for me to say, abbreviated court report today because some of the people that we didn't or that we planned to cover weren't there. But I did want to show the reason why Betty is in the stairwell.
Yes.
Let me pull it up here. Here we go. So what's happening? What are we looking at here?
I think that's where they're doing all their testing for the ages, 65 and older now for the COVID shots.
All right. So is this this is not the vaccination, this is for testing, right?
Yes. And then the room that I normally would use, the old commissioner's room, that they've got nurses set up in there as well. So yeah, they're busy downstairs today.
And yesterday they had a pretty big deal outside with vaccinations and all that wonderful things. So courthouse is a busy place.
Yes, my mom actually got vaccinated yesterday. I was a little worried for her, but she took it like a trooper. So now fingers crossed, she'll be okay.
The first shot.
Yeah, the Moderna. Yeah, she got that yesterday. It all went through Gaines Pharmacy. Give them a shout out, I guess. They did a really good job getting that set up. Huh?
Oh, that's very good. I didn't know they were participating. I knew Kroger's kind of was, but all right.
Yeah, I didn't either until she did that yesterday when I took her.
I think we should turn your screen green and make it look like a night shot, and then you talk about the ghost that you may be hearing. What's that sound? Let's go investigate that sound.
Walk the courtroom at night.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be scary?
Oh man, I'm telling you. Well, we appreciate that. We appreciate you going to the courthouse and bringing us up to speed on some of these very important cases, and we will continue to bring you the court report. We welcome Betty back.
Nice to be back. Yeah.
Yeah. I think some of the court officials were glad to see you back in court today, so that's good. So fantastic.
Nice warm welcome. Yes, it was.
Good. Well, I'm gonna take myself out here, and you let me pull up our little thingy here. All right, you go ahead and you take us out of this thing.
First, as always, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Progress inspires change, and that's what Scioto County Daily News is all about. Keep staying tuned in. We have a lot of stuff more to come, and progress inspires change.